and I'm going to be presenting my SLP 6, which was on economically disadvantaged students and their journey through the classroom. So Manteo High School is located in Dare County, which is in eastern North Carolina. We have a total population of 474 students, with the majority of our demographics being white and Hispanic. This school-wide data was pulled off of Industar, and this is what our SIT team uses, where you're going to see that we had 39% on free and reduced lunch. That number is a little bit skewed with this data because our school district offers free and reduced lunch to all students, and so people aren't filling out the packets as more frequently, and you're seeing a decrease in that number. Overall, our school academically exceeds growth. We've been a B or an A school for every year that I've been here, which has been about 5 years. And we will note that there is a little bit of a dip in last year's performance. And so hoping doing some of these community events and bridging these students back together will end up helping those results this year. Our teaching working conditions was actually really positive. It was really hard for me to look through this and see something really low compared to some of the other ones I saw. So our school actually felt like our students followed the rules. They just felt like when somebody got in trouble, the discipline kind of wasn't there or support wasn't there. You're going to see that as number 5 on the bottom of the screen. And so I kind of pulled that data and tried to look at that from a discipline side point into this project a little bit. So at the beginning of this, I pulled a bunch of reports, obviously for the start of this SLP. I attended some SIT meetings. With the SIT meetings, we ended up finding that one of our goals was going to be to increase student support with students or staff. And so you'll see that that is one of the things that was part of this project. Overall, the feedback at the beginning of this when I started it was that our population had shifted, but we hadn't followed it. And it was difficult to help our students when we didn't have a name. And so when teachers heard the word like MTSS or concerns or pulling this data report, they were worried what the follow-up would be with that. And so that was a hard thing to overcome. Some of the school-wide events that I did were Bring Your Parents to School Day, and we also did a Thanksgiving food drive. The Thanksgiving food drive, we actually fed 5 families, and we had over 315 items donated. Some of the people that we fed were members of our school, which was great to kind of give back to. One of the events that you saw in the last slide was Bring Your Parent to School Day. This was an initiative that I brought back. They did this pre-COVID, and I thought it was a great way to bridge the gap between our community and some of our students and kind of bringing in that support for them. And so we had about over 100 people attend the day, and you'll see the initial signups were kind of very mixed with demographics as our previous overall school demographics were. And you'll also see that the grade levels tend to be 10th and 11th. Our survey results were really well. Over 100% would attend again. The day kind of was very successful. I thought it really helped a lot of students, and it showed some of our different demographics that are there. But the main thing of this project was the concerns and disciplines that I kind of looked at. So I pulled reports of failures, behaviors, so students with 2 or more, and then had more than 10 absences or had a low grad score, and they got put on this document. They got marked with what their concern was, how they were noted to be a concern, because we did send out a Google form at the beginning of the year for teachers to start referring students. And then you'll see on this check-in slide, the student was then highlighted red if they had more than one concern, and a staff member had to pick them. If they're not highlighted red, they were going to be assigned a student buddy. And so for the purpose of this, I took the students' names off, but we had some SGA members attend our buddy signups, and I really think the buddy system is going to be a great success when it can really get its feet off and not mid-school year. Overall, this project really pushed me in a lot of different ways. It made me kind of pivot of what I thought, and I ended up going down a different route completely, looking at discipline, attendance, and all of that instead of looking at like actual academic data. But I feel like overall it really helped my school, it helped my students, and it helped my culture of the building. So I think it was a very successful project in the end.